wanted to talk today about an idea very, very powerful from David Goggins. It's funny enough, I was running up this road when I heard it the other day, and the idea was to learn how to bargain with your mediocrity. And now, what he meant by this specifically is that every single one of us is going to have those days where we just don't feel like doing, where we feel like giving into our excuses and buying into our fears and doing what is easy and familiar versus what is actually best for our growth. Now, on those days, what David Goggins suggested you do, which is something that I've actually practiced for a little while now, I just didn't realize it had a title. David Goggins kind of put that spark in my mind. But what it's about is, on those days when you really don't feel like doing something, you make a bargain with yourself and you say, I'm going to show up, and maybe I'm not going to do the 10K run, but maybe I'm going to do the 3K run, and I'm just going to get to 3Ks, and I'm going to start there. Or maybe it's with your push-ups, or maybe it's with your sales calls, or maybe it's with even time with your kids. I know a lot of parents out there who they're busy caught up in their business or whatever it is else they've got going on in their life, and they're doing their best, but they're not doing what is actually really going to be moving them forward into the future. So when you have the awareness and you're able to say, okay, there are actually certain things, if I do today, will set me up to win in the future, and you commit to doing those things even on the slightest level, just bargain with yourself to do enough to take a few steps toward it. What tends to happen when you take those few steps is all of a sudden you generate this energy and you realize, oh, it's actually not so bad. And then what you find will happen is you start taking more action. You start getting into a bit of a flow, and you're like, hey, I've come this far, I may as well keep going. But if you don't bargain with yourself and you're just expecting yourself to be on performing at a high level all the time, you're probably kidding yourself, and you're probably actually setting yourself up for failure. So I thought this idea, bargain with your mediocrity, is incredibly powerful. Definitely give it a go, and think about how you can actually apply this in your own life. If you actually preempt certain times in your week where you might not be at the greatest energy, maybe there's a particular day where, I don't know, you need to go and talk to a certain client you might not get on as well with, or I don't know what's going on in your life, but you got to think for yourself and figure out some things that might potentially derail you. Plan ahead and say, okay, if I don't hit this many calls on that day, if I'm not able to show up at the highest level of energy, what would be good enough? What would be good enough? And commit to that and make that your base level. And then if you hit that, you're still winning. All right? So don't expect yourself to be on all the time. Bargain with your mediocrity. It's very, very powerful. Give it a go. And let me know if you want to commit to this in the comments below.